Hey y'all, just wanted to give you guys an update. I saw a couple of doctors today. First one was the lymphedema. Sorry, I'm updating my computer, and it just finished. Brain fart. Okay, I saw the lymphedema therapist. I'm at risk for lymphedema now that I had lymph nodes removed because of the breast cancer. It was on the right side, and so they removed like a handful of lymph nodes on the right side. So since I'm right-handed, this is kind of going to be a problem for me. I know they told me in the beginning, don't do this, don't do that, be careful with this, blah, blah, blah. So a few of the things was don't get blood pressure taken on the right arm, don't get any IVs or blood draws or anything, no sticks, needle sticks on the right arm, always use the left. So I've been very good about making sure anytime I go to the doctor's office, they never use the right arm. Also, another thing is don't use hot water in the shower. Don't use hot water when you're doing the dishes. Don't go in a hot tub. Don't go in a sauna or steam room. So I've been avoiding all that. Which, it's too hot to take a hot shower right now anyways, but now I have to be careful when it gets colder. I can't take my really hot showers anymore, which I totally love doing. But with these hot flashes, I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with that because going into early menopause sucks, and I sweat galore. Every 5 minutes I have hot flashes, and it just sucks. So that's not a problem there. But I've been having some swelling for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, and I've been feeling the tightness. When you get swollen, you feel the tightness and stuff. I've been feeling it in my arm, and there's some discomfort and some pain. And I've been telling them that I have this pulling sensation. It's like a muscle gets pulled every time I lift my arm or raise it or something like that. So from here all the way up to the middle of my bicep, I feel a pulling sensation. And she says it's called a cord. Don't really understand, but it's kind of like a cord being pulled on a guitar and then you strum it. It gets really, really tight. So that's that term is what she said is that feeling I'm feeling is like a cord. So she's putting all her notes in and she's gonna talk to my oncologist and talk about therapy treatment plans and how to help reduce lymphedema and reverse the swelling so it doesn't get any worse to the point where I do have to wear sleeves. Right now, she doesn't think I have to, which is a really, really good thing because number one, it's super hot, and to wear a big old tight compression sleeve is gonna suck. But they measured my arm. You can see little blue lines all across my arm. It goes all the way up. That's from them measuring every inch of my arm all the way up from my fingers all the way up to the tip of my shoulder. So if I do have to wear one, that's how long it would be, and that would suck. So we did that. She asked me a ton of questions, and now she just has to write a report, talk to my oncologist, and then figure out a plan of treatment. Whether I go twice and do therapy and then do everything on my own or go a handful of times, I don't know. It's just going to depend on what she says, I guess. I don't know. So that was that appointment. And then I've had an emergency eye appointment today. If you could see, one eye is dilated, one is not. I've been having issues with my eyes, I guess, along with my migraines. One leads to another, something. If you've been following, you would know that I've had swelling in my optic nerves, which started with a regular eye appointment. She said, you need to go see an ophthalmologist and a neurologist and go get that checked. So I did see the ophthalmologist. They recommended I have an MRI done. Well, because I can't have an MRI since I have expanders in, tissue expanders making my boobies grow, my skin and my muscles. They have metal in the port where they inject the saline. I can't have an MRI, so that's a setback right now. So the only thing they could do are CTs. So they did a CT of my head, my neck, my thoracic, and lumbar cavities, and everything came back normal. There was nothing pushing or bulging and putting pressure on my spinal cord, which is a good thing. But now it's kind of trumping the doctors because they don't know what's causing all this swelling and pressure in my head. So they did a lumbar puncture 3 weeks ago, if y'all remember. I had the worst experience with the lumbar puncture. I ended up with a negative pressure headache, which sent me to the hospital a couple of times. I ended up getting 2 different blood patches, which is where they take your own blood from your arm, they inject it into your spine, and it basically clots right there, and it makes that hole close. So there's no spinal fluid leaking out the hole from the lumbar puncture. And I had to have that twice, because the first time was done on a Monday, and then Tuesday I got chemo, and then 2 days later I got sick as a dog. The chemo just made me literally throw up every 5 minutes. I couldn't keep anything down, not water, not popsicles, nothing. Whatever I swallowed, I would throw up. I was even dry heaving. So I ended up getting dehydrated, throwing up, and just the pressure of the throwing up, it knocked the blood clot loose. So I ended up getting a negative pressure headache again. So they had to go back in, do another blood patch, and that one stuck because I just laid straight for 3 days in bed, absolutely doing nothing, which was boring, and in pain, and it stuck. It went well. I feel better. I still have a headache. Like, it helped at 80%. Very slowly, by the way. Usually it's supposed to be immediate relief, which it was not. It made it worse the second go round. I have intense back pain, and even still now, 2 weeks later, I still feel back pain. Sorry, I had to adjust. I can't sit too long. If I do sit, I need a chair with a back. If I sit on a stool and I just have to hunch over, it hurts my lower back where they did the injections. So my lower back is kind of messed up right now. Anyways, so over the weekend, I took the kids to Hawaiian Falls, the water park or whatever, and I don't get to ride the rides. I don't get to have fun. I just sit there watching the stuff, watching all the kids have fun, and maybe I'll take a quick dip in the lazy river just to refresh myself and get out of the heat and stuff. But I sit in the shade. I do nothing. I just literally sat there all day Saturday. And I noticed as I'm looking out in the crowd, looking to see where the kids were, I always make sure I see them on certain rides and stuff. And I try to flag them down to come, drink water, come eat something, put sunscreen on, whatever. And I was noticing as I'm scanning the area, I'm having trouble seeing. And I thought maybe, I have sweat in my eyes. I'm rubbing my eyes. And I'm like, I'm really having trouble seeing. So I do the test, and I'm like, one eye this, and I'm having trouble seeing, and then I cover the other eye, same thing. I'm fine on that one. But so I look on this one, my right eye, I have a new floater. They call them floaters. But this is like a big gray blob. I see a gray blob, and it covers half of my eye. So imagine my pupil, the big one. You see the one that they dilated it so they could see inside. It's still crazy. It's like a bowl. What I see is a gray blob in the shape of a bowl from the lower part of my eye, but it's like right in the middle. So if you're looking straight and you close one eye, right in the middle. It's just a gray blob and it's blurry. So if I'm reading something, which they made me read the eye chart thing, whatever. And I can only read, out of the 8 letters, I can only read 3 of them with the one eye open. With both eyes, I can see fine. There's just a little blur of a blob, like right there. So they were like, okay, there's a problem. So they dilated my eyes. They looked inside. They noticed the big floater. They noticed that the eyes have gotten worse. The swelling is worse. There's a little bit of a hemorrhage, which they think is causing that new floater to come up, which happened overnight. Because Friday, I was fine. Saturday morning, I woke up, didn't notice anything until we got to the water park. After a couple of dips in the lazy river, I sat down and was just kind of scanning and looking and wasn't able to do anything. It's like, what's wrong? Why am I seeing this blob all up in my eyeball? I don't get it. So I started freaking out. Y'all, I was seriously scared. So first thing this morning, literally at 8 o'clock, I called and told them what was going on, and they fit me in and saw me and did all these tests. So now she's going to contact my neurologist and tell her her findings and show her the pictures. They took new pictures of my eyes showing that they're more swollen. My optic nerves are more swollen. and I have new floaters, and it's visible. You could see the floater in my eye. I wish I could have seen the picture. I would have taken a picture. Maybe next time I go in, I'll sneak a picture. So just waiting on results of that and what to happen. I pray it's nothing. Basically, they're like, since you're already on Lasix, which is a diuretic, they said it's not aggressive, and it's not really helping, obviously, if I have more swelling. So, and I'm on a high dosage already. So they told me they wanted me to get on Diamox, but I'm allergic to sulfa, and I can't be on sulfa. So they're trying to find an alternative way to get rid of this excess swelling and excess water in my body and see what's the next step. She said most likely I would have to have a shunt put in to stick in my head and drain the extra fluid out of my body, out of my head, to relieve the pressure and the swelling in my eyes that's causing all these problems. Usually, I know I'm overweight. Trust me, I know I'm fat. I know I've been trying to lose weight, and that's how I found the tumor in the first place, and this whole thing got started. But because I can't lose weight due to the chemo, it's really hard. So it's kind of putting everything on hold. So it's just kind of aggravating. And then they put me on this new migraine medication, which is also like an antidepressant, which is amitriptyline. I've taken it before. I gained 30 pounds in 6 months with that sucker. And I told the doctor, and she's like, well, you won't be on it that long. Maybe 2 months just to get you through till I can have my boobies put in, my real boobies. Well, the gels, the jellies is what I'm getting. I'm not getting real boobies, obviously. So once I get those in, then I can have an MRI. Then they can see better. If by then, or this gets worse, if I start losing my eyesight, they're probably going to put a shunt in quickly. Then, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's all a waiting game because of chemo treatment and booby treatments. It's just one thing after another right now, and it's just a little overwhelming. So just prayers that they can figure out what's going on and fix this eyeball thing that's happening, because it's really hard to see. I can't read, I can't read on Facebook. I can't read text messages. It's really hard. I have to close one eye so I can see what I'm reading. The TV is kind of a challenge. I kind of have to do this if I'm reading something on the TV, but seriously, what the heck? What else are you going to throw at me up there? Come on. Can't handle much more. So, sorry for the long video. There's just a lot to say, and I really didn't want to sit here typing with one eye open because I'm still dilated, so the room is very bright for me right now. It's still very blurry. I can't see very well out of it. And then, of course, the big gray blob. So, just wanted to update you guys. Again, sorry for the long update. But this way I can tell everybody all at once instead of individual messages. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for keeping up with me. Mwah. Bye.